The sixth countdown to kickoff, presented by Harlem Beer Distribution of North Carolina and the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance. I'm your host, Donald Ware. So far, we've talked with Shaw head football coach Adrian Jones and North Carolina Central head football coach Trey Oliver joined us in the last segment. Now, our next coach may be making the furthest trip here, okay? Coming from Elizabeth City all the way to Durham. Marcus Hilliard's in his second season as the head football coach at Elizabeth City State. He's an alum of Elizabeth City State, and he joins us here on the countdown to kickoff. Coach Hilliard, what's going on?
Not much, man. I appreciate, being here today. We just was talking, man, and thank you for the invite, and definitely glad to be here today.
Your thoughts? Maybe a tough 2022 first year in, but, trying to get your feet wet. Your thoughts on the 2022 season?
Well, definitely a learning experience. We had our ups and downs, but like I told the fans, it's going to be a process of just trying to rebuild and getting the team where we needed to be. And, we had our ups, we had our downs, but we're learning. We don't call them we don't say it's losing. We just say they're life lessons for us. So we're excited about this season.
And for you, being an alum, how exciting is that because not only you're an alum, you were an assistant coach for many years under Coach Tiller. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but being able to be back at your alma mater and be the head man of that program.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And I said it last year at the media day, just sitting in what I call Tiller's office. I had a big chair, and I was excited. It's something that when you play, you never really think about it. Like, I'm gonna be the head coach, and it was surreal just for that happening, and it was a big deal for me.
You had a key loss. First team All CIAA linebacker. Is it Wanya Majetti? Wanya Majetti. Okay, so that's got to be a big loss for you coming in 2023.
Most definitely. He's the first team All CIAA guy, and losing to him, it's tough. And we got some guys that are still going to come through and step up, but just losing Wanya, man, was a big deal for us.
Let's talk a little bit about 2023, the expectations there. First of all, kind of coming out of spring, because it seemed like you may have gotten in late last year. Did you even have a spring last year?
No, we did. I got hired in January.
Okay. So now, but this is your second spring, so you got a little more footing, if you will. So your thoughts on spring and the preparation coming into the 2023 season?
Well, I thought we had a great spring. We were able to finally implement our system, and the guys played well, and now they're understanding what we want within the program, and we got some good guys coming into 2023, and like I said, we're excited. We're about 20 days away from coming into camp, so it's a big deal for us.
Speak to some of the key players that you're expecting big things from on the offensive side of this. We'll start there offensively.
Well, of course, for us, our quarterback, Chase Williams, he's back at the helm. He was a true freshman last year, and he showed a lot of growth this spring, and looking for big things for him. We do have some key offensive linemen that we're going to be relying on. Don't want to tell too much. They'll see when we get there, but definitely have our quarterback, Chase Williams, be the leader at the helm.
And then defensively, who can we expect big things from in 2023?
Well, defensively, our linebacker play is going to be pretty strong. We got Tracy White that'll be leading that linebacker core along with Demorian Smith. And at defensive line, we have a hometown guy in Trevion Freshwater. So defensively, we look to be pretty good as well.
You know, I asked you about what it meant to be at your alma mater as the head coach, but what did you sort of learn about yourself in your first year as the head coach at Elizabeth City State?
Well, with being a head coach, you're a manager. As an assistant coach, a lot of the decisions, you make a lot of suggestions, but the decisions don't fall on you. And as a head coach, you have to make all the decisions. And, just learning how the process works were everything. You don't know what you don't know, and experience is the best teacher. So, leaning on those experiences from my first year, would definitely help me for the second year.
But your experiences in the past have helped prepare you for this. For instance, you were named the Division II AFCA, which is a big deal, Coach of the Year back in 2018. And you were at Union, I believe, at that time, under Dr. Alvin Parker. What did receiving that award mean to you?
It was surreal, man, being the national assistant coach of the year. I think I may have been one of two African Americans to actually win that award, man. So that was a big deal, and just appreciate Coach Parker, putting me in that position and in that light, and pushing me, to be a good assistant for him.
And then what was it, sort of under Waverly Tiller, longtime coach at Elizabeth City State, went to a couple of championships, I think 05, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 11, if I'm not mistaken, when he was the head coach there. And then you played under him when you were a player there. So speak to what he's meant in your life.
Coach Hillard is the reason I'm sitting here, He gave me an opportunity as soon as I finished playing. I played under him. And he just, he gave me a part-time job and let me work my way through the system, being an assistant coach and then coordinator, then an assistant head coach. And, during his tenure, we had a great run, 06, 08, 11, 12. We were fortunate enough to be in the CIAA championships. So, Tiller played a major role to why I'm here today.
That Down East Classic, as you know, is really, really big there in Rocky Mount. I believe it's your second game of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Speak to how big that game is and what it means to that Rocky Mount community.
Well, we have a lot of alumni in that region, and shout out to the alums and my coaches that are here today. But it is big for that Rocky Mount, Nash area. Just to see us and the alums come, we call it like a mini homecoming. And, they're able to watch some good football and, celebrate and be around each other like Vikings do.
Last thought, how tough, you've been around the CIAA long time. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but you've been around the CIAA. So how tough is the CIAA? And I really think to that Northern Division, man, it's really tough each and every year, but how tough CIAA football is.
Well, CIAA football is tough, but the Northern Division is a gauntlet. You lose one game and you pretty much are done. You're out of the championship picture. But, CIAA football is competitive. We had two teams make the national playoffs, and, of course, Virginia Union being ranked. So we're up there with the top level competition in D2 football.
Give it up for Marcus Hillard, head football coach at Elizabeth City State, joining us here on the Countdown to Kickoff. We got a great crowd here. We're going to step aside, take a break. Up next, you'll hear from the head football coach at Fayetteville State, Richard Hayes.